So, welcome everybody to the Six Fouls podcast. Tonight, we got a special guest.
Mike B in the house.
Mike B in the house. I'm Aaron Brent. We got M. Dot on my right.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about the playoff
Rockets.
finishes of the Rockets and the Hawks. And we're going to start off with the Hawks. So, I know my boy Mighty's got a couple thoughts on how they finished.
Well, I mean, obviously nobody expected 60 wins. I mean, that's clear. I think everyone kind of figured maybe 45, 48 wins, something like that in that range. So, they came out, they didn't come out guns blazing, but they had a 17-0 month and all that stuff. But, as nice as the story was, and, you love to see the team ball, and, Spurs East and Spurs Light and all that stuff.
Nah, it's not Spurs East.
Yeah, clearly it's
Spurs
not.
Light for sure.
But, to me, I kind of think, yeah, they were good, but part of it was a weaker conference this year, especially with some teams down like the Pacers.
I mean, they had no business winning the amount of games that they won.
Yeah, 60 wins
and then on top of that, the guys that needed to step up in the playoffs, you just already knew that they weren't going to be the guys that were going to do it.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
I had zero confidence the whole playoffs that they were going to be the guys.
They didn't look good against the Nets.
Yeah.
They didn't look good against the Wiz. And, probably not that surprised, they got swept by the Cavs. But they got some questions in terms of free agency because they got Millsap and DeMar Carroll, both unrestricted free agents.
And I don't think that there's any way that... I think that team gets blown up. I mean...
Well, yeah, it's not going to get... Well, if Millsap leaves...
If Millsap leaves and DeMar Carroll leaves, those are two top-notch guys on those starters.
Fair
But
point.
here's my idea. For one, I think if you could bring back DeMar Carroll at a decent number, I think that'd be nice because he was arguably the best player for a lot of the games in the playoffs. But let me ask you this, and I want to get the opinion on both of you guys here. As good as the ball movement and the team aspect was and everything, outside of having that main guy, which we all knew they didn't have, and we all knew that's one of the reasons why they lose in the playoffs. The other thing was they got killed on the boards. Right? I mean,
they don't have a big time rebounder.
They don't have size. I mean, and their guy off the bench is Pure.
All their guys can shoot, but that's about it.
Exactly. So, as much as me and Ann love Millsap, you know this, especially when we just dominated the fantasy league.
That's your main point of argument. That's probably your only point of argument.
But here's one thing I propose. Now, whether or not it can happen, obviously, we'll see if the guy that I like is going to go there. But if you let Millsap walk and you give DeAndre Jordan a call, you move Horford back to the four.
That's
you
kind
move
of a nice
Horford back
spot.
to the four.
It's a lot of money,
he's
though.
really more of a power forward, right? I mean, as good as he is,
he's not a center.
a little more of the traditional stretch four.
So
not
then,
as far back as Millsap because he doesn't really shoot three.
You're talking about if they manage to keep DeMar Carroll, their starting five would then be Korver, Teague, Horford,
Carroll, and DeAndre.
Yeah, I mean that's.
DeAndre dominates the glass.
They'd have it defensively, but
And
again,
because that's the difference between them and the Cavs in this whole series. Was that
was
the
one
Cavs?
of the big,
The Cavs
they also didn't have the guy that can score.
The Cavs go hard, went hard
but they're not
defensively.
getting KD. So
I mean,
you got to figure other ways to try to
if Millsap was the guy and he didn't show up anyway, then
he kind of and part of it, there were some talk like he might need shoulder surgery after a year, which he doesn't.
Right.
And I love Millsap. To me, Millsap and Horford are kind of similar players, no?
I mean, but that's the issue. It's like the Knicks getting another Melo. Like, there's no reason.
Right.
There's no reason to get two small forwards, and there's no reason to have two power forwards.
Yeah.
Like, what you want is you want to have the best guys at each position, and then you want to have role guys to come in off the bench.
And I think we know this now. This is we've been talking about it for a while. It's a guards league. And the fact of the matter is the consistency of Teague or inconsistency of that team kind of rides the wave when Teague is on. And when
just so we're clear, though, just so we are clear, Millsap averaged 8.7 rebounds this year. That's not terrible.
No,
it's not terrible.
It's not that. It's that when they were banging game in and game out against Mozgov and Tristan Thompson, they had issues.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't
Jordan
stand up for a
5,
series.
And Horford at the 4 banging with Tristan, and Jordan dominating Mozgov.
But then
I'm not saying the Hawks win the series, because to be honest, I still don't think they would have. And chances are, even if they got Jordan,
it doesn't matter.
Are they going to be as good, or maybe they still win 50 games? The chance of them to go to the finals was now or never. I mean, I feel like that's pretty clear, especially with the Cavs not having Love and Kyrie missed 2 games. So their chance was now. But just going forward, what can you do to try to make this team a little more complete, I guess?
Right.
I mean, the thing is that that's a team that I would have taken any day of the week in the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. If I'm, the GM, you're putting up a chance to fight. But at the same time, in order to win a championship in the NBA, you have to have every piece that's needed to step up. And they don't have like that guy.
And I think also the things that they were good at in the regular season kind of failed them in the playoffs, and they were exposed in the 7-game stretch.
I mean, there's injuries.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You were saying before that Cephalosha was saying that the whole issue was.
I know what happened with Cephalosha is a horrible thing, and I like Cephalosha because he brings that.
But that could mentally.
And he's a huge bench guy. He's a big for that team. All the parts matter because it's a sum of the parts as a whole. That's the difference with the Hawks. They need every
like
piece
we talked
of the
about.
motor
It's
running.
similar to what we talked about with Houston, where people totally underestimate Patrick Beverley just being
right.
done.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of get into the Rockets a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about their finish. Obviously, I think here's a key point that everybody probably understands and is probably cool with, is that if you told the Hawks and told the Rockets, hey, you guys are going to the conference finals at the beginning of the year, they would sign up for it. So for them, these teams have kind of tasted the best that they could.
And furthermore, with Houston, if you told them, hey, Dwight's going to miss 41 games.
Right.
Terrence Jones is going to miss 49 games.
At the end of the day, though, sometimes you're better without Dwight.
Yeah. Beverly's going to miss over 20 games himself and the whole playoffs, and you're still going to get to the conference finals.
Right.
They would have signed for that in a heartbeat.
But like we've talked about, dude, the issue is that them getting there wasn't a product of them being really good. Them getting there was a product of other teams just...
Yeah, I mean, the Clippers just...
Throwing it.
Yeah,
just throwing it. The Clippers were up 19. They gave it up.
I think I told everybody the last 2 weeks, the Rockets are the best, stupidest team I've ever seen. Just because they don't. For them, it's all effort. That's always been my thing with the Rockets. They just don't.
When Harden has a bad game, that's
it. Because you need him to put 40, 10, and 10.
Yeah.
Every game,
especially in the playoffs against someone, especially against
the Warriors. Just so we're clear, no guy in the playoffs can give up 13 turnovers.
No.
Yeah, you can't have 13 turnovers.
Me
and Mighty have had Harden for several fantasies. We know he's a turnover machine, but you give it and you take it.
Yeah, but all the good guys are turnover machines.
Exactly.
All the best players, that's exactly.
But here's another thing with the Rockets. It's just like we said, it just comes down to too many injuries again. Another team that could have used the Monta Eunice, a versatile stretch for in this type of series where they could have used more scoring. Where Terrence Jones looks offensively inept and lost defensively for most of the series, most of the playoffs, matter of fact. I mean, I love T. Jones, but I was kind of down on him.
Jones wasn't impressive.
I was down on him.
But what Mike B said before, Beverly was probably as big a loss as any to that team.
Because defensively, he's what shuts the other guy down.
He's arguably
and especially against Golden State.
Guard in the league.
Especially against Golden State, where if you can't guard guards, you're done.
Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
I mean,
not that he would have shut him down, because I don't know if anyone can really shut down a great player.
No, you can't. You can't.
At least he would have made him work
just like now in the
hard.
Finals, the fact that there's going to be a great defensive matchup on LeBron with Draymond Green. It doesn't mean LeBron's not going to do his thing.
It just means that he may not be as efficient doing it.
And what you got to hope, right, is just that one or two of those big shots get blocked when they wouldn't have otherwise got blocked.
Well, think about that. I mean, think about the close games in that Golden State series. Maybe you have
games
Beverly.
1 and 2.
Right, you have Beverly make a couple shutdown defensive plays. You win those games.
Maybe in game 2 they lost basically at the buzzer.
So at the end of the day, though, going forward.
Which is funny. That's what makes the Rockets so, an interesting anomaly because, like I said, they're so bad, but they're so good. And, if they had all their pieces, they're going 10 deep. And then you're you're actually like, crap.
Deep.
Like, I got to contend with a Monty Unis. I got to contend with a Beverly. I got to contend.
The biggest thing always is, well, to me, with the Rockets, two things. One of them is defense, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave up 110 points.
Who do you think they go after to try and get to defensively upgrade?
The problem is financially.
Because Dwight is done, and they have no cap. They have no room.
No, and if
they're paying every guy.
If you bring back your own guys, you're going to be at you'll be at the cap limit for this year. But I think it's kind of vital to bring back a Beverly.
Yeah, you need to.
He's a restricted
but
free
dude,
agent.
Beverly's coming in at a much lower price than
he is.
Then he is to the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, value-wise.
Value-wise to the team, he's coming in at a good price.
They can't really do a whole lot of moves. If Corey Brewer doesn't pick up his player option, which is, I think, about $4.9 million, if he doesn't pick up his player option, that gives them something like $13 million to play with. But
yeah, I mean, you know the cap better than I do with these guys.
They got team options on Papa Nicolau. Patrick Beverly.
I like Papa Nicolau.
Probably get a couple of offers elsewhere.
Yeah, probably.
He's not, he may sign for $6, $7, $8 million, something like that, which the Rockets are going to be able to afford. They just might not be able to pick up, unless they want to pay luxury tax. But they won't be able to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
They won't. They do have a first round pick, I think around 18 or so, thanks to trading Amir Sheik to the Pelicans. But they can't do a ton flexibility wise. But here's the other thing, which Daryl Morey's made a couple of strange moves himself. Not strange moves, but he's tried to find ways.
He's a risk taker.
He is.
You got to respect it.
He tries to find ways. So, say Brewer, for their sake, doesn't pick up that option. That's almost $5 million.
And Brewer's a good fit for them.
He is a good. I agree. He is a good fit.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have fit in like a lot of the places that he's been lately. So it's
so maybe he does pick up the option because he did.
At the end of the day,
if I said, when you add Beverly healthy, a Beverly and the Brewer on the wings, it's like. And with Ariza, that length and that intensity,
and Dwight down low,
right? That's what I'm saying. That's
and also that was part of their issue is Ariza wasn't hitting threes like no tomorrow all season, and in the playoffs it just wasn't at the same. The Rockets in general. Just
Ariza was actually pretty consistent.
Level. Yeah, I mean against the Clippers, I think.
He started picking it up actually in the Warriors series. He was pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know what the exact numbers were, but
the two big weaknesses. As we mentioned, one of them for Houston is defense. And the other one, to me, is not having a second guy that can score.
Yeah.
Dwight may be making max money, but it's obvious that he's not a max player anymore. He's still great defensively, but the offensive game hasn't evolved whatsoever.
Yeah.
And pretty much the last 5 or 6 years, you thought it would get better. And Harden's a great scorer, arguably, I think, the best scorer in the league.
Right.
You can debate between him and Westbrook and Durant or whatever, but you're going to need some help. You're going to need another guy that can kind of help you and bail you out, and they don't have it. And this team will be good enough in the West to still win 50-plus games just because of the talent top to bottom, because of how good Harden is, and now we're seeing how good Kevin McHale may be as a coach, but
I don't know. We'll see.
Are they taking another step?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if they do.
For both of those teams, I think at the end of the day, the answer is we'll see. Because if they can each get another piece or two, they can be big time contenders.
How's this?
Go ahead. I kind of had the idea, but no, I think we might have the same idea. Well, we've been hearing all the rumors about L.A. kind of want to go back to Texas, go back home. If they could find a way to.
Well, I
don't know what it would come down to.
Guys, basically,
right.
They'd have to trade guys to try to clear money, and then at that point, we'll probably still have to ask Aldridge to. Right. Hey, can you take $15 million this year and then we pay you more next year when the cap goes up?
It's obviously like the Spurs right now are the front runners in that game. But, hey, if you could scrap together something, and it would be an enticing
Let me ask you another thing.
Go ahead. I got another guy too, but go ahead.
Now, this isn't even for this offseason. So you just bring back Bev and Brewer picks up the option and you pretty much go forward with the same team next year. But then the year after, James Harden calls up his boy in OKC and, hey, Durant, we had a good time and we went to the finals. What about coming to Houston? You played in Texas.
You're just trying to piss me
he
off.
He played in Texas.
You're just trying.
He played at Texas too.
Why is it pissing you off?
He went to the University of Texas too.
No, I know, but
why is it pissing you off?
It's pissing me off because, I mean, when they were on OKC, I loved them. But once Harden left the group, he became a totally different player.
Just so everybody knows, this is like Mike B's had like the love-hate relationship with James Harden, so he's gonna kind of tell you in like 30 seconds why he used to love James Harden. Now he hates him.
At the end of the day, when you're with two other big stars and you're playing in the team role, And instead of going to get a foul every time and making the most boring basketball to watch on the planet, you go away from having like 3 of the most athletic guys in the league on the same team to having one of them not be nearly as athletic and just, I can't fault him. He's getting it done. But at the same time,
40-10
that dude is not nearly as interesting to watch as when you watch Westbrook play. I'm just like, okay, dude.
How many guys attacked the way Westbrook attacked?
But that's my point, though, is when he was with Westbrook, when Westbrook was like, I'm not going to get this basket, he'd just dish it out to Harden. Harden would be like, whoop, and then that's it.
You got to blame Presti for that.
I know that. I know that.
You can't be killing Harden for it because
dude,
Presti didn't want to give him another $5 million.
Whatever. It's over.
But back on topic though, as far as moving forward, like LA could be an attractive option if they're able to move.
Kevin Love too. I mean, I feel like
that's not a bad call. That's not a bad call.
A stretch 4 for them, even a Paul Millsap. I think it's a pretty good fit.
That's a great call too. I know DeAndre Jordan's been talking about going back home to Texas too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that wouldn't do anything for them offensively, but if they could ship Dwight out and get Jordan in there,
it's probably going to be the same money.
That's probably right. But at least that guy at least plays his ass off, and Dwight's giving you nothing.
With all that being said, Dwight is still a better player.
Numbers wise.
Yeah, he doesn't know it. Yeah, sometimes he doesn't.
Listen, I was kind of shocked.
DeAndre always gives the effort. That's the one thing.
That's the thing I like. Yeah, they're both horrible free throw shooters, but besides that, great defense. Dwight still brings it defensively, but we know he really doesn't bring
Dwight,
it.
I think that whole team.
Look, the numbers are
so
superficial.
much.
That's the thing about the Rockets. I mean, the numbers are like very like superficial most of the time, but except for like Harden sets up half that team, and they don't play any defense. And I guess you can kind of make an argument too because Beverly's not there. Maybe Dwight played better defense because half these guys are getting in the damn lane, and he has no choice but to stick his hand out there.
No, I don't know. I think that both of those teams got way further than I expected them to get.
No, of course.
And
Look, listen. Once the Spurs were out, everybody was banged up. The Spurs were banged up. It's been a horrible playoffs in my mind. I've said it again and again. It's like I haven't been.
All I can hope for is that
a great finals.
That there's actually a great finals where both teams go at it.
You want to talk a little bit about the finals? You want to?
I'm going to root for a great 4-game sweep.
A great 4-game. Golden State takes it home. Steph Curry's daughter chilling on the finals podium. She's got the trophy in her hand, and LeBron's crying. That's what I want at the end of the day. So.
Hey, everybody wants new blood, and it'd be great to see the Warriors win. I mean, 40 years, that'd be kind of nice. I think it's something. Though the Cavs never obviously had a sporting title in Cleveland for like
but you don't want this team to get it.
It's the LeBron. No, I know the LeBron factor. I get it.
LeBron, more than the LeBron.
The hate is real.
The J.R. Smith factor.
You didn't get the chime in on the Cavs one, so you want to you spew some hate on J.R. J.R. and the tub dance. You want to talk about the tub dance a little bit?
No, I don't want to talk about the Instagram tub dance. I'm not down for that. It's
one
of the weirdest posts I've ever seen.
Shump drinking the champagne,
make.
Doing like the cooking, whipping song.
I know.
Well, that's it for this.
That about wraps it up.
That's it for the Mike B guest assisted version of the Six Fouls podcast. Tune in again soon.